Hey everybody, it's Mark, Dr. Deadwax, and it's time for the Inbox Challenge 2, Day 26. Today's numbers were picked by Earl of Suave, Jimmy. Jimmy picked 4 numbers. Gonna do 5. I think there's a record in here him and I have talked about, or he wanted me to. Anyway, so the first record I'm going to show was a record that Jimmy didn't pick, but it's a record. We were down in the States today. I picked this up for my wife. She was really happy to get it. She and Him, a very She and Him Christmas. And this is on white vinyl. Delicious, snowy white vinyl. And some people have had problems with this pressing. They say it's noisy, but this one actually plays pretty well. I mean, isn't she pretty? It's not, I don't know, it's good. It's not my favorite Christmas album, Christmas record, but I do enjoy it, and it'll be fun to have it in rotation. But most importantly, my wife squeed when she got it, so she was really happy, and that works out well for me. I used to give her CDs, and she used to hate it. I gave her a record today, and she liked it. Just shows vinyl's better than digital every day of the week. Alright, so on to Jimmy's records. This is the first one. Elvis Costello and the Attractions, Armed Forces. This is the first Canadian pressing. It comes with a picture inner sleeve, and it comes on the standard red Columbia label from the 70s. 1978-79 is about the time. It's like copyright 78 on this, but I think the actual release date might have been 1979. Do you remember when Elvis Costello was good and he didn't suck? After listening to, after listening to years of his McCartneyisms, it was really refreshing to go back to that. When I was playing, my wife said, I said, "Do you like this, don't you?" Because she was singing along. She says, "Yeah." She says, "I'm just so worn out with Spike," which was both the record that both of us like from Elvis Costello a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I'm totally over Spike too. But this was kind of fresh to go back to. I personally, I know you're supposed to like Elvis Costello. He's on a list of the people you're supposed to like, and even if you don't like him, you're supposed to say that you are, because you don't want to be one of those people that says you don't. You know, kind of like Bob Dylan and Tom Waits, and he's a brilliant songwriter, but he puts out a lot of dross. But that's a great record, and this is my copy from when I was a kid, so it's kind of funny to pull this out. Accidents Will Happen, Senior Service, Oliver's Army, Big Boys, Green Shirt, Potato Girl, Goon Squad, Busybodies, Moods for Moderns, Chemistry Class, Two Little Hitlers, What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding, produced by Nick Lowe. I mean, do you remember when Elvis Costello was good? It's kind of refreshing to get back there. Next is Jeff Beck, Wired. I know a lot of Jeff Beck's music, not his music, but kind of his work on other people's records. He's on Amused to Death by Roger Waters, and he just fucking steals the record. And, you know. This is first Canadian pressing on Epic. Again, nothing interesting in the Dead Wax. Somebody bought this at Valley Village and tried to get the sticker off. They put these stickers on these records that you can't get off. This is not me. I did not buy this at Valley Village. I bought this somewhere else, or I got it from a collection. So $4 for a record from Valley Village. The fuck. This is actually not a record I'd heard before that I remember. I think I heard it in university, but there's a lot of university I don't remember. So I'm pretty sure I heard it then. This is a great record. Wow. Smoking fusion-y, great licks, great chops. Jeff Beck, Jan Hammer, Max Middleton, Wilbur Basham, Narada Michael Walden. Great Fender Rhodes, great guitar, great drumming. There's like a couple guys. This is like half of this record is his old band and half of this record is his new band apparently. This is the follow-up to Blow by Blow. But yeah, wow. You know, 47 years later I finally hear that record. Well, no. Came out in 78. So 35 years later I finally hear that record. It's a good one. Finally hear it and remember it. Next is Cat Stevens, Catch Bullet 4. Is this? I think we were talking about some Cat Stevens record, Jimmy. I don't remember which one it was. I'll have to refresh my memory. My brain is seeping out of my ears at night. Follow up to Teaser and the Firecat. So it was like 7th record, 6th, 7th, 8th record. Man, he had a lot of records. I mean, Teaser and the Firecat, and the one before it, whatever the hell it was called, just went out of my head. But those are the kind of two Cat Stevens records I think of. The ones I know pretty intimately. So those a lot in university too. Never heard this until tonight, and this is a great record. It's totally different than Teaser and the Firecat and the other one that I can't remember. It's not all guitar acoustic. It has electric guitar on it. It has songs without guitars and like songs where he plays keyboard on it. It has it's almost simpler, more distilled in a way, but still really strong, and maybe a little bit more pushing, a little bit more experimental. But it's, I mean, I wouldn't call this an experimental record by any means, but compared to the two before, yeah. Catch Bullet 4 refers to like the 10 bulls of Buddhism or something. And number 4 is catching the bull. Anyway, somebody else can expound on that a lot better than I can. But first Canadian pressing. This is a real weird one. This is this has MR in a circle, which stands for Monarch Records, but it also has Sterling LH for Lee Hulko, which is, we could say that then it was mastered by Lee Hulko at Sterling, which fits there, and pressed by Monarch Records. But then A&M would have had to have imported it into Canada, and they couldn't say on the back manufactured and distributed in Canada by A&M. So I'm thinking Sterling LH, Lee Hulko cut the plates, Monarch Records plated them and shipped them to Canada. And then to add further confusion, next to Sterling LH, incredibly faintly, is Pines, P-Y-N-E-S, for Jerry Pines. Why the hell that's on there? I have no. This is a real dead wax oddity, but yeah. So definitely going to have to add that kind of combination to the mental notebook and see if I can track down what that's all about. Good record. And then this. Julie Driscoll, Jules, open. Brian Auger, open. This is a first German pressing on Polydor. And you can tell that it's German because, or that it's first because it's 184130 is the cat number there. And this is a record I only have in the inbox because of the VC. I got this record from a collection, and a couple of years ago I got a collection and this was in it, and it didn't make like the first pick through the collection, and it went into like, I don't know, dead bins almost, things that I would go through again before I cleared them out. And somebody, probably Fred, I think it was Fred, Big Star, talked about this or mentioned this in a comment, so I went out to the bin and I pulled it and I put it in the inbox, and it's taken like over 2 years for me to actually get around to play it, and it's fucking incredible. This is a great record. The first side is just all Brian Auger, or Brian Auger and Trinity. I think this is kind of, she might have left the band by then. There's only 2 releases with Julie Driscoll, Brian Auger and Trinity, but there's more Brian Auger and Trinity records, so she might have left the band, but this was kind of put out with her name still on it, maybe, or they only had enough dates with her for half. But so the first half is him, and then the second half is him and Trinity, and then the second half is him, Trinity, and Julie Driscoll. And fuck, she can sing, and she can really sing. She does an amazing cover of Season of the Witch. Amazing. But not only that, on the Brian Auger side, he's fantastic. The first 2 songs are instrumental, and he gets a groove going on that Hammond that's far out. And he sings on Black Cat, and that's great too. I'm really impressed with this record, so I'm glad that, you know, I have the VC, because this is something I kept. I thought it was French. That's the only reason why I initially even kept it, you know. So that's kind of like it's a darling of the VC that I had, and probably would have gotten rid of at some point if it wasn't for the VC. So those are today's records, Jimmy. I think you pulled some really good ones. Julie Driscoll, Brian Auger, and Trinity. Jules, Auger, open. Great record. Great, funky, 60s, bluesy rock, little bit psychedelic, but more kind of bluesy rock than psychedelic. It seems a little hippie, but I think it's more of a little like blues groove, funky, bluesy. It's probably got the breaks the kids all talk about in it. You know, probably been sampled. Catch Bullet 4, Cat Stevens. Excellent album. And this is another one of these weird WBs too, or UBs, or whatever the hell those are. It must have been why I bought all that other crap I showed the other day, because that was a good one. Jeff Beck, Wired. Great record. Elvis Costello and Attractions. Do you remember when Elvis Costello was good before he turned into Paul McCartney? And She and Him Christmas. Not a bad Christmas record. Not the greatest, but fun. So those are today's numbers. Thanks everybody for watching, commenting. Thanks everybody who's been participating, playing along. Thanks, Jimmy. I know you had some question about some sort of cleaning thing. Hit me up in a couple days when I'm less insane. Have a great day, everybody. Keep the record spinning.